Right, hey guys, here we are, hole 9. Now, one of the things that I can do, especially in a headwind like this, is we can maybe pull out a better ball. And what this will do is it'll promote me from keeping, we don't want this drive to get too short. And we also want to kind of favor the right-hand side, so that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Favor the right, get it down as far as possible, because we want to be aggressive with this approach to where we can still potentially make it. And if we don't, into a headwind, we might not get this far enough. Now, as you can see, we're still within range, and this was goal completed, basically. So we wanted to make sure into a now, if there wouldn't have been a headwind, I wouldn't have worried. But it was the headwind specifically that caused me to kind of play this a little bit differently. And as I mentioned, we're going to be able to probably get pretty aggressive here. So this is what, about 8 rings here? This is going to be about 9. Looks like it might be almost 10 rings here. So keep in mind that I'm also going to keep this ball guide tight on the hole. And we're about 10 rings for max, which is pretty close to mid-ish club. Maybe a little bit less. But we're also going to keep this ball guide tighter on the hole than we would. And I also want to make sure that this ball doesn't try to break on me. I want all the bounces to kind of stay straight. So that's what I'm doing with all this side spin. And again, like I mentioned, ball guide tight on the hole. You don't want it to, because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to pull these rings down. You can see the rings are, the orientation here, all this is low ground, and it's going to get real low. It's going to go off the green here. So you want to be very careful with that. Now do make sure that you change your ball off of Pro D. And I believe this angle was give or take this. I mean, it was essentially a straight wind. And like we said, we were right about almost 10 exactly. I'm thinking something along the lines of this may just require a slight underpull, if at all. I mean, it's going to be real close. Because since we're pulling less rings, we don't have to worry too much about the overpull, but it might just be like 1 tick mark of underpull that you need. And that's more or less what I'm trying to do here. Let's give this a go, see what it looks like. Hopefully we can get the drop. But, either way, this is going to be very tidy. This is, if it's not going in, it's going to be, just off the edge. And as you can see, just needed just a hair more, just a hair. So we were just a little bit light on that adjustment. Another thing, it might have been with the wind effect and everything, might have had just a hair too much of the left spin as well. But you can see, all in all, we put together a decent round. It would have been nice to get, one more drop maybe. Here you can see, I came up a stroke short, but even if I did get that one, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like I would have beat the person in first anyway. But you can see, all in all, not a bad round. We put together a pretty decent one. And, a lot of really close approaches. You're going to see from following these tutorials that you're going to get a lot more dialed. And the more that you play around with the app and all the values, the better you're going to get. So keep all that in mind. Good luck, and see you guys next time. Take care.